to your extra heat of the week with Fuego Fitness. This week, we'll be taking you through 4 different stability endurance exercises. Core stability and balance are absolutely essential in order for you to perform optimally through your strength and power exercises. We'll be taking you through 3 different levels so that you can progress at your own pace through these stabilization exercises. Exercise number 1 is your single leg reach around the world. So as we progress through these movements, we're going to be finding a more challenging, proprioceptively enriched environment. That is defined as an unstable yet controlled environment in which our internal balance and stability mechanisms must kick in. So for level 1, you're going to find a flat, stable surface. You're going to stand on one leg, all 4 corners of the feet on the floor, soften in the knees, quad engaged, shoulders directly over the hips, and core is nice and tight. The lifted legs ankle is going to be flexed. From here, you're going to kick around the world. That is forward, diagonal, lateral, back diagonal, and back. You'll repeat this as many times as you can stay stable and strong through the core and through that standing leg. Once you've done the side a few times, you'll switch it to the left leg. Then level 2, you're going to find another stable but elevated object. I'm using a yoga block, but you can use anything, a stool, books, box, whatever you have. So same exact thing here, flexing that standing, that lifted leg, and then you're going to take yourself through those around the world steps. So front, diagonal, lateral, back, diagonal, and back. Same thing here, you'll repeat as many times as you can, and you can play around with the height of that hip abduction as well, okay? And then last but not least, level 3. It's still a stable object, but a little bit more balance is required as the surface is not flat. So I'm using a half foam roller as an example, but again, you can use anything you have at home. Maybe a rolled up yoga mat is a great example to do that. So same thing here, you'll stand on the same on that object, find stability through that standing leg, soften the knee, quad tight, flex that ankle that's lifted, and then same thing around the world, kicking diagonal to the side, back diagonal, and back. And again, repeating as many times as you can before fatiguing. Exercise number 2 is your ankle stability squat. So for this exercise, we'll be taking you through 3 different steps to progress you through and challenge your stability. So for step number 1, you're going to use the top of a chair. You're going to bring your feet shoulder width apart. You're going to lift your heels up off the ground on the balls of the feet. Other arm can go out nice and wide for support, and core is nice and tight. And as you slowly lower down, keeping those heels lifted, keeping that chest up nice and tall. Using that chair to lift yourself and hold yourself back up, squeezing those glutes out the top. Good, and then from there we'll progress to level 2, which is where we'll turn the chair around, and so that you'll have a lower surface to hold you for stability. So in order to do that, you're not really going to use it other than for support if needed, but it's like a comfort blanket. So you're going to lift your heels up off the ground, arms come out nice and wide, and then same thing here, you'll be moving through that sagittal plane. Again, using that chair for support if needed, reach up and slowly release, making sure that that core stays nice and tight and chest stays lifted. Perfect. Last but not least, of course, level 3, we'll do it without the chair or without any support. So again, doing the best you can, keeping those heels up nice and high, find that stability, bring those legs out nice and wide, core tight, arms out wide, and then slowly lower and slowly lift. Do this as many times as you can. If you fall onto the heels, don't worry, just get back up and start over.
For exercise number 3, we are going into an airplane. Now with the airplane, you're working on core stability, but on one leg at a time. So you're gonna go ahead and grab your chair or an elevated surface to get started. You're gonna stand about arm's length apart, just so you can lightly reach over and tap that object. Then you're gonna pick up one leg, keeping that core tight and spine long. You're gonna kick that leg back and tap the chair in front of you. Once you hit here, you're gonna drive that knee up to the top and repeat. Now keep in mind and notice that I'm keeping a bend in my standing leg. You never want to lock out that knee, so keep that bend for stability and to protect those joints as you lift and lower. Lift and lower. Now, once you get comfortable with this side, you're gonna go ahead and switch it over and even it out. Once you're comfortable with that elevated surface, our next step is to drop it down to an even lower surface. So if you have that chair, you can go ahead and just flip it over and use that seat as your next point. Again, nice distance away from the chair so that you can reach and tap. Lift one leg up at a time, keep that slight bend in the standing knee, and send it forward. And drive that knee up. Now, as you get lower, you want to aim to get your shoulders parallel to the floor as much as possible. Then, you want to use a little extra power to drive that knee at the top. So again, you lower, shoulders down to the floor, and drive. Once you get comfortable here, you can switch it over. Now, ultimately, the goal is to do this without the assistance of a chair or an elevated surface. So just body weight is the goal, but take it at your own pace. Once you get there, if you want, you can put your arms out in a T formation, like an airplane, to help with stability. So you're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Lift one foot off the floor, send it back as you kick that leg and squeeze that core, shoulders parallel to the floor, and drive it up. So again, kick back and lower, and drop. Now once you get comfortable, you can switch it over to the other side, and there you go. For our fourth and final exercise here, we are going into a bird dog variation. So we're gonna start by having our hands and knees on the floor. We're gonna make sure our shoulders are stacked directly over our wrists, hips directly over our knees. Then we're gonna reach out with our opposite arm and opposite hand. So right arm and left leg to start. We're gonna go out, squeeze those glutes at the top, then bring it down. And switch, out, squeeze, drop. Keeping that neutral spine, engaging that core to hold it there and squeeze, and then bring everything back down. Now, once you get comfortable here, step 2 is to lift those knees off the floor for a little bear plank position. So you're gonna go ahead, get back into position, then you're gonna lift the knees 1 inch off the floor and do the same, opposite arm, opposite leg, kick out. So you go out, drop, out, drop. Keeping those knees hovering at 90 degrees, just 1 inch above the floor. Now, once you get comfortable with this position, the third and final step is to go into a high plank position and repeat the same movement. So we're gonna go ahead and go into a high plank position. Again, shoulders over wrists, pelvis tucked in, glutes are down. Try not to let the glutes go back into that high position. Keep it all level and just lift the opposite hand, opposite leg again. So you lift, lower, lift, lower. Now once you get here, try and hold it at the top for 1 second before you drop it. So lift and hold, drop. Lift and hold, drop. Continue this motion until you get used to it, and that is your fourth and final exercise. Alright, Fuego fam, there you have it. That is our extra heat of the week. A little stability endurance workout for you. Now again, core stability is so important for absolutely everything that we do. We engage our core in almost every movement. So really make sure that you just give these a shot. Take it at the pace you need. Do not get rushed if you can't get to the final step of each movement right away. It takes time. So just let us know, keep us posted on how you are feeling and how you're seeing progress. If you have any questions, you can always, of course, email us at fuegofitlife@gmail.com. And don't forget to sign up for your Fuego Fitness sessions at www.fuego-fitness.com. We love you so much. We'll see you in class next week. Mommy and Papi out.